This is Dark Emissary 617, and I have dreaded this day. I finally got a hold of the Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figure of Attilla the Frog. Attilla the Frog has easily become one of the most, controversial figures in this line for a pretty legitimate reason. This guy is what people like to call the last true attempt at making a character as a toy by Playmates. This guy is easily the worst figure in the entire line. I know I had an old review about complaining about the Krang because of their articulation. The Krangs themselves can break and deteriorate because of the rubber, and of course, their standing pose, but this guy is inexcusably dreadful. And I don't normally complain about any of my toys, so let's just go over the reasons why this guy is so bad. To start with, he looks like he does in the cartoon, but we have some issues. First of all, look at how thin he is. They made him like this so he can fit inside the box, and you can activate his other reason why this guy's so controversial, a gimmick. None of the figures we've gotten so far really had an over-the-top gimmick. This makes him the full-fledged first actual character to be a full-fledged gimmick aside from turtle variants and so forth. Another issue is his articulation. For the articulation, let's just show off what he can do. His arms are swivel hinged. See? Like so. They are full 360. Now, here comes the problem. And that's it. There's no other articulation. His legs are stuck in place. He has no head articulation since it's all molded and sculpted in place. And, you know what? He technically does have one more point of articulation. By going to the back, push this red lever, and his tongue comes out. This figure was made solely for that gimmick. They made him thinner because they wanted him to fit inside the packaging and to have enough clearance to press the lever for that gimmick. And that's all he was made for. This is easily the worst figure in the entire line. The paint job is alright. I mean, you get a nice white wash on his stomach that changes back to the blue, but hear that? He's super hollow. He's just a thick, empty, hollow piece of plastic. They could have at least given him some weight to make him feel like a good figure, to make him feel like they put effort or some quality into him. The twigs on his hat is kind of, bendy. He had like a staff in the show. I wish they gave him that. Could have molded a hand to hold it. And also, when you take off the cape, yes, you can actually take it off. It's held in by these oddly shaped prongs. On the back, you can see he has these holes for that, and yeah, the lever still works, but I noticed another thing I don't like about it. It's very loose. It keeps falling down easily. He has all these warts on the back of him, but they're not painted, so when you take off the cape, he looks even worse than he already does. And just to give an idea of his scale, give me a second. This thing's a little annoying to put on. You have to like that. You have to make sure you get it right and make sure it lines up with the gimmick again. Just to give it into perspective, here's my previously reviewed figure of Dark Beaver. Dark Beaver was okay to be small because he made sense for the scale, especially since he could change in size. Attilla is not supposed to be that short or that small. He's supposed to be a lot wider, a lot bulgier, and a lot taller. He's definitely shorter than Napoleon Bonafrog, which is not accurate to the cartoon. He's very cheaply made, and he's basically like a giant glorified Happy Meal toy. That's one of the most famous nicknames he gets. I have the box with me, but I don't know where it is at the moment, and it doesn't really matter because the box really won't make a difference for this guy. At this point, you'll like the box more than the figure itself. So as you probably guessed, no, I don't recommend this guy. He's not really worth it. I got him on a discount at Toys R Us when they were making the figures cheaper, but even for $4, that's still too much for this guy. I'd say save your money and use it for someone better, like Snakeweed, my all-time favorite character with more articulation, great height, and everything. Or some of the other newer figures that came out. So, that's all I have to say, and I'm sorry that this guy just couldn't be a good figure. Anyways, that's been the review for Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figure Attila the Frog. And this is Dark Emissary 617 signing out.